Good morning. Today is March 12th, 2023, and we welcome you to New York Buddhist Church's weekly service streamed live on YouTube and Facebook. We will begin with quiet sitting. Please sit up straight, feet flat on the floor. Calm your mind and follow your breath. Today's chant is Junirai, Bodhisattva Nagarjuna's 12 verses in praise of Bodhisattva Amitabha, taught in Nembutsu and Ekoku Merit Transference on page 59, followed by Vandana and Tisarana on page 7. Our reading today is Jodo Shinshu no Seikatsu Shinjo, page 5, Shinshu and Shinshu Pledge 2, on page 6. Our Dharma talk by Nobuko Kodama. We will end the service by singing Gatha's Ondokusan 2 on page 134 and Nembutsu on page 135. Namu Amitabha.
長女習得経血女国小さり役得自在子が将来みだそん実法名門菩薩衆無量小魔女三段一生修上願力自子が将来みだそん根体保険知性家前言少女明大座お膝 Will you all stand, if you are able, for the Vandana and Tisarana, which is on page 7 of your book?
Buddham Saranam Gacchami.
Dhammam Saranam Gacchami.
Dhammam Saranam Gacchami. Sangam Saranam Gacchami. I go to the Buddha for guidance. I go to the Buddha for guidance. I go to the Dharma for guidance. I go to the Dharma for guidance. I go to the Sangha for guidance. I go to the Sangha for guidance. Namo Kiebutsu. Namo Kiebutsu. Namo Kieho. Namo Kieho. Namo Kieso. Namo Kieso. Namo Amitabha. Namo Amitabha. Namo Amitabha. Namo Amitabha. Please be seated. Our reading is the Jodo Shinshu no Seikatsu Shinjo on page 5 and the Shinshu Pledge number 2 on page 6.
Jodo Shinshu no Seikatsu Shinjo。一つ、御仏の違いを信じ、尊い皆を唱えつつ、強く明るく生き抜きます。一つ、御仏の光を仰ぎ、常に我が身を顧みて、感謝のうちに励みます。一つ、 御仏の教えに従い、正しい道を聞き分けて、誠の実りを広めます。一つ、御仏の恵みを喜び、互いに敬い、助け合い、社会のために尽くします。The Creed 2 on page 4. Oh, sorry. The Shinshu Pledge 2 on page 6. Entrusting in the vow of the Buddha and reciting the sacred name, I shall proceed through the journey of life with strength and joy. Revering the light of the Buddha and reflecting upon my imperfect self, I shall strive to live a life of gratitude. Following the teachings of the Buddha and discerning the right path, I shall spread the true Dharma. Rejoicing in the compassion of the Buddha, respecting and aiding others, I shall do my best to work towards the welfare of society.
Good morning, everyone. I'm glad that you all made it today. Because of the time change and everything, it's harder to get up on this in the spring when we go early. But we'll adjust, right? It's great to see everybody here today, and thank you for joining us. And it's great to see, well, to know that there are all of those people out there who are tuning into our YouTube or Facebook channels. So we're so grateful that we are able to reach people this way. Today, as we do quite frequently, we ask our Sangha members to give talks for us. I think it's wonderful that, Jodo Shinshu is really a practice for the lay, and so it's important that we hear the voice of our lay members. And today we're going to hear from Dr. Nobuko Kodama. Dr. Kodama has been a member of the New York Buddhist Church since 1997. She's been a stalwart presence for us. Thank you. And she teaches Japanese language at the Fashion Institute of Technology here in New York. And because she has such proficiency in Japanese and in English, she often does our translations for our texts that we send out to you, or talks that the ministers give sometimes. And so this is a reflection of how important our Sangha members are to the New York Buddhist Church. It's not just coming here and listening to and participating in the services, but also giving dana, giving your service and your gratitude to the New York Buddhist Church. And Nobuko has been doing that for many, many years. She also she helps with the implementation of our Hoakai, which is the Japanese language gathering, and we've recruited Reverend Chiemi Bly, who's in the Twin Cities, and she helps to lead that group. That's every first Thursday in the month. And let's see, what else? Nobuko does so many things for us. We're so grateful for us. Of course, she is our regular pianist, and she helps recruit people to help with the service as well. So this is a way that our members give their dana. It doesn't have to be, money. It can be service. It can be helping keep things going here. And so we always welcome you to volunteer. So today, Nobuko is going to give our talk. So thank you so much.
Good morning. Ohayo gozaimasu. Okay, next week there will be Higan service, and it is spring equinox that marks the beginning of spring. It will be nice to see more people at service. You have different reasons to come to this Buddhist church. One thing we are thankful for is that Buddhism helps us see things we are not aware of, and we can appreciate things we take for granted. Today, I will talk about Shin Buddhism from this point of view to show how we understand Amida. In our daily life, we have many opportunities to talk over the phone. Making an appointment with a doctor, buying things, fixing problems, and so forth. After we call, we are often asked to answer a brief questionnaire. They want to know if we are satisfied or not satisfied with our exchange. They ask us if we were able to solve the problem and indicate a level of our experience from 0 to 10. For example, I have called the Apple Store when I have had technical problems with my computer. I often find their technicians are very patient. They know how to talk to customers. And I have been very pleased with the technical support I receive. And so I indicate my high level of satisfaction when I'm asked to answer the survey. A similar type of assessment occurs in the classroom. I teach Japanese and have a good idea of how each student performs in class. I see students from my point of view, but my other students may not see their classmates in the same way as I do. Even though a student A is a good student to me, it does not mean student A is a good classmate to them. We have a variety of relationships in our daily life. Boss and a subordinate at work, customer and a store clerk, doctor and a patient, and so forth. In each situation, we may apply categories to define the relationship. There are many pairs of words to describe people: good, bad, kind, unkind, happy, unhappy, likable, unlikable, rich and poor, talented or successful, untalented or failure, and so forth. In Japan, it was once popular for people to use words winners or losers to categorize people. We might also describe relationship between or among people: comfortable, uncomfortable, satisfied, unsatisfied, and so forth. Communication does not always go smoothly, which can lead to experience misunderstanding. A Japanese doctor of anatomy, Takeshi Jodo, is 85 years old. In his recent book, What Does It Mean to Understand?, he writes that people often get upset when their listeners misunderstand what they mean when they are speaking. He writes that this misunderstanding happens commonly, and that part of our reasons is people's thinking or mind changes all the time. This unsteadiness often means that you do not understand yourself, and he states that unless you understand yourself well, you cannot understand other people. He says, don't worry, because time will solve the problem. Okay. Shinsho Miura, who is teaching Buddhism at the Ryukoku University in Kyoto, found a rap song by a group of young Japanese musicians called Sekai no Owari. This means the end of the world. One of the songs is called Habit. Shinsho Miura found that this song reflects the teaching of Buddhism. Here is a translation of the rap song's lyrics in English. Okay, think of a rap song, okay? And you guys like to classify, categorize, and divide everything into groups, saying people somehow tend to have a habit to classify or not to classify. The target is you, who say that there are two types of people: those who have things, those who do not look cool, those who do things properly, or those who are not doing things properly. Do not speak to us pretending as if you are enlightened. We are more ambiguous, unclear than that. We are more complex and uncertain. You do not have an ability to classify you. Few young Japanese go to Buddhist temple in Japan. However, it is interesting to know that the teachings of Buddhism is reflected in the way they sing songs. This song became very popular among young Japanese people because the song expresses exactly how young people feel in modern life. Shinsho Miura points to the song Habit to demonstrate the concept of emptiness in Buddhism. One of the 7 masters, Nagarjuna, who lived in India in the 2nd century, thought deeply about the meaning of emptiness. Shakyamuni Buddha taught that life is impermanent. He also taught that all things are closely connected with each other and that things are not static, but instead change over time. If you think that the person is good or bad, you may not be able to see how that person has changed or will change over time. People suffer when they are categorized as A or B, or as good or bad. Discrimination provides a useful example of this effect. People face discrimination when they are defined by certain categories. What the concept of emptiness teaches us is that the human propensity to classify relationships and people leads to suffering. As one of the ways to be relieved from suffering, Buddhism teaches us that we overcome our habit of classifying and discriminating by keeping our minds empty. However, to understand and accomplish this is not easy. And to go beyond altogether is even harder. Shinran, the founder of Shin Buddhism, and his teacher, Honen, went to live and study at Mount Hie near Kyoto when they were children. At Mount Hie, monks were trained under 3 sets of essential concepts called Sangaku. This means 3 learnings. Number 1, a discipline which makes it possible to accept and observe training. Number 2, a stable mind which allows one to focus. And number 3, wisdom, acquiring the capacity to understand the truth in life. Throughout the training, both Shinran and Honen suffered. The training focused on how one can be relieved of suffering through one's own work. This means that the harder one works, the more one gains. However, no matter how hard Honen and Shinran worked, the training did not succeed in helping them overcome all sufferings. After Honen spent 28 years and Shinran spent 20 years, they chose to leave Mount Hie. Honen was 43 years old when he encountered the writing of Zendo Daishi, it's Shandao, one of the 7 masters from China in the 6th century. Zendo Daishi believed that the teachings of Buddhism can be equally accessible for all the people, not only for those who have gone through training. Zendo Daishi wrote that a mirror is useless if one is in the dark room, and considered Amida to be the light that clearly illuminates the teaching. I interpret this as suggesting that a teaching does not guide people anywhere if they are left in the dark and without a guidance. This notion moved Honen deeply and helped him find the right path and to start preaching the ordinary people. Shinran followed Honen on this path, and it was a great relief and a joy for Shinran to finally encounter the work of the 7 masters and Amida. We sing a Gatha, Ondokusan, at the service. Today we are going to sing that song. Shinran wrote the lyrics of this song as a wasan, a short poem, expressing how grateful he was to Amida and the 7 masters who made him see what he was seeking. We sing this song in Japanese, and I just checked, and there's only Japanese and there's no translation. Okay, so we sing without really knowing what it means. Okay, but it's in the purple book that we used to use. Okay, so this is a translation. So this song is about how grateful Shinran was to encounter the teaching from Zendo Daishi originally. Okay, the debt of gratitude I owe to Amida's compassion. I will proclaim until my life disintegrates into dust. I owe to my Dharma teachers, these Dharma teachers mean the 7 masters. I will express until my bodily form is finally shattered. Okay, so Shinran spent 20 years, and he entered the mountain as a child when he was 9 years old. So he did as much as he could, but he didn't gain what he wanted. I have introduced to you the song Habit, created by young Japanese musicians. The song says that one needs to have a wider view to understand people. Amida offers that wider view to all sentient beings and helps relieve us from suffering. As you see, when you come to Hondo, okay, you see Amida. The main image of Shin Buddhism is Amida, you see behind me. In Shin Buddhism, you do not initiate chanting Namo Amida Butsu. It is not that you chant, the more you chant, the more you gain what you are looking for. Amida is the one that guides us to see beyond our limited views. The internal inquiry remains. How are we to perceive Amida in Shin Buddhism? One answer has been to see Amida as akin to our parents who guide us with a compassionate mind. Each of us has a moment in our life that we cannot forget. I'm sure that you have many, as I do. There are two moments in particular that stayed firmly in my mind. Both moments involved my parents, who now have passed away. The first one was when, as a teenager, I came from high school one night to the unusual sight of my father waiting for me at the bus stop. A few months before that day, a friend of mine had given me a no theater mask made out of ceramic, and I had hung it on the wall inside our house. However, on that day, it suddenly dropped to the floor. When my father saw this, he thought that something bad had happened to me. And this worry led him to go out and wait for me at the bus stop. The other moment was when I went back to Japan for a visit. It was winter, so when I called my mother from the airport after my arrival, I told her to wait for me at home. She was already over 80 years old, and I knew she did not like the cold weather. But when the bus pulled up near my parents' house, I found her standing there near the bus stop in the dark. I do not know how long my mother or father had waited for me, but I cannot forget the image of my parents standing there in the dark. I had not thought about these moments until recently, but they have remained with me and stand out in my mind because in those moments I was touched by an awareness of my parents' compassion toward me. Before closing, I want to introduce the idea that omakase. Do you know omakase? Omakase offers us a way to see Amida. Omakase refers to a style of eating sushi. Several New York restaurants offer this style. In omakase style eating, you do not select for yourself which sushi to eat. Instead, you entrust the sushi chef to select for you, with the knowledge that they will know the best selection of the day in a way you cannot. Once I saw a memo written by a chef presented at outside of a sushi restaurant in Upper East Side. Do you know what was written in the memo? Okay? It says simply, trust me. Okay? So, because of the sushi chef, okay, we owe sushi chef to trust the selection of the best sushi. Okay. Similarly, in Jodo Shinshu, you learn that even rigorous training is never enough to attain a higher level of mind with limited views. Instead, we entrust Amida to guide us to the right path. Let's put hands together for Nama Amitabha. Nama Amitabha.
Will you please turn to page 134 for the Gatha Ondokusan 2? This is the Gatha that Nobuko referred to in her talk today, and Nembutsu on page 135. Please stand if you're able. Please be seated.
So this concludes our service for today. And thank you, Nobuko, for sharing your thoughts. It was a beautiful, beautiful talk. And, okay. This is the portion of our service that we welcome newcomers. So do we have any newcomers that are here today? Okay. Lily will give you that.
Thank you.
If you could please stand, that would be nice.
Hi, I'm Mary Akiyama Kearns, and I'm here with my friends Lisa and Ellie. This is my first time visiting a Buddhist temple. So
Oh, thank you. Thank you
pleasure to
for
be here.
coming.
Thank you.
Anybody else? The others have been here before. That's it. Thank you. Thank you, Lily. Lily's been here since she was a little girl, so she knows the ropes. So thank you all for coming today, and thank you for those who are joining us online. I especially want to reach out to those who are joining us online who are actually home and not feeling well, and so we're thinking about you, those who are dealing with health issues. So remember that we love you and that we are thinking about you. So today, our greeter today was John Skelly, who was also our pianist. Thank you, John. And thank you for our tech team, Carl, Palma, and David Brady, and Lily. Lily, who's learning the ropes, right? she's in training. we train them young here. And thank you so much to Nobuko for really sharing your thoughts. I know you thought deeply about this talk, and this shows you, that our being Jodo Shinshu, being a Buddhist, is a process that we're always thinking about it in our daily lives, and that's what's important, that we experience the teaching that way, not just here, but when we take it home with us and we think about our daily lives and our relationships to those around us, our friends and family. And so thank you all for coming. I want to acknowledge our Maiko, Maiko Tanaka, who's one of our minister's assistants in training. And she's taking courses at Institute of Buddhist Study, too, online. So it's just amazing. She's really going for it, I think. Thank you, Maiko. And anybody else that I've forgotten? No.
Our flower arrangement teacher.
Oh, yes, I always forget. Junko-san. Yes, our flower arrangement teacher who comes in on Saturday and she teaches multiple classes. She always does these most beautiful arrangements and always reflective of the season, as you see, the things that are coming into fresh blooms. So, and if you're here in the building, you can see her other works around the building too. So some really fantastic pieces. Thank you so much, Junko-san. And she does teach on Saturday, not every Saturday, but I think the second, third, and fourth Saturdays of the month. If you're interested in coming, please be in touch with her by email. And her email is ymkwjun, I guess it's Yamakawa, Jun, @gmail.com. And so the classes are at 11 to 12:30 and 1 to 2:30 on Saturdays. So thank you so much, Junko-san. And she generously donates the flowers every week, so we're really appreciative of that. Upcoming events. Next Saturday is Buddha Goes to the Movies, and we just concluded the selection of the movie, which we're going to be talking about next week. It's Ikiru. I don't know if you're familiar with this film. It's by Akira Kurosawa. It's available online if you go to Google or whatever your search engine, you'll find ways to download or to view the film. But it's an amazing film about life and how we go through our journey of life. And so what we do is we come together and talk about it, from a Buddhist perspective. And I think it's important that we see the reflection of Buddhism in a lot of things that we do, in the literature we read, things that, movies that we see. And so this is an opportunity to take the teaching and to see it in a broader perspective. So if you're interested in that, you can email us at NYBC, New York Buddhist Church, nybc332@gmail.com, and we'll send you the link. But if you'd like to see the movie, you can view it yourself during the week. And we do collectively, make a decision about what films we're going to be reviewing. Also, next Sunday is our spring Higan service. That's the equinox. And the equinox, as you know, is when things are in balance. Day and night are in balance. And so that is a time that Buddhists all think that it's a good time to come to the temple and learn, that your life is more or less, you're not dealing with, well, maybe we are still dealing with storms or a lot extreme heat or something like that, but the weather is good. It's time to start thinking about the teaching. So next Sunday we'll have Reverend Ron Miyamura from the Midwest Buddhist Temple in Chicago. And Reverend Miyamura is our supervising minister for the New York Buddhist Church. And he's wonderful. He's just very warm and great teacher. So please do come and hear his words. Then, let's see, other things that are upcoming. We have Renyo Shonin Memorial Service is March 26th. And Renyo Shonin, as you know, is the 8th abbot of Jodo Shinshu, and he was the teacher who spread the teaching all throughout Japan with his amazing method of reaching out. So, let's see. And also, April 9th is the Buddha's birthday, Hanamatsuri. Now, this is a big festival for us. We decorate the Hanamido, which is a little altar. It's covered with flowers, and it's a special time, I think, especially for children. And so we'll welcome any children who want to come early, about an hour before the service, to help decorate the Hanamido. So come at 10:30 if you'd like to participate in that. So we've got a lot of things coming up. We'll probably have our Sokai annual meeting. We're not exactly certain of the date, but it will happen in April. That's when you can come and learn what's going on at the New York Buddhist Church, how it's run, all the different functions, all the different committees and organizations that are affiliated with New York Buddhist Church. So everybody is welcome to that. So thank you all for coming. And let's place our hands together in Gassho. In gratitude for this opportunity for us to come together, both here in person and those who are seeing us online. We are all part of a great Sangha together as one. Namo Amitabha. Namo Amitabha. Namo Amitabha.